Good morning. I am excited because I was looking at the Red Table Talk session with Ree and Jada, and I thought it was very interesting and exciting as well because it embraced the fact that two women who were co parenting as mothers to a son were able to be mature enough to get along. And I kind of looked at the dynamics of their family, though, as something that is a dynamic of many families. But some families with children don't have that dynamic. In other words, Will and Ree were married, and he asked her to be his wife at one time, and she was the one who walked away from the marriage. She mentioned that. In other words, she was done. Even though she had some unwinding and some unraveling to do within the divorce, and it does bring some emotional strain whether you walk away or not. I know, been there, done that. But it still was something that she walked away from. And so she wasn't holding on. But in a lot of cases, that's not the case. You have a lot of situations where females or males are not the one, they don't want to walk away, and the other person walked away. And when that person walked away, they weren't mature enough to stop and think about the children. I'll say it like that, and I'm not throwing stones at anyone because, I've been there where I wasn't wanting to let something go before. And it does kind of sometimes make you feel a certain kind of way. You feel a little something, something. And it's not always a pleasant feeling. I'll say that. In fact, you might do things or say things that are so not you. And I get it. But when it comes down to children, it has to be a situation where the children come before the emotional, uh, shall I say, um, problems or detachments, however you want to say it, the emotional strains, I'll put it like that, that come when a person is not co parenting with you in a positive way. And then you have the situations where they don't want to blend. If there's a new person that's in involved in the situation, now all of a sudden there's this new person, and they may want to be nice, but they have that feeling of, I'm kind of insecure with this situation. And so because of that, the blended family is not always easy, but it is definitely something that is possible if a person uh, is able to let go. So there has to be some level of securities in any situation where you're going to co-parent. And there also has to be a situation where a person has to either get some therapy or they got to check themselves and look in the mirror and say, hey, it's about my children, and I really got to let this man go. I can't sit here and I won't. I said man, but it could be woman too, because in some cases, it's the woman who is having a difficult time with the man letting go. Um, but they have to be able to say, hey, it's not about me right now. It's really about what is going to be the best for these children to be mature. Because trust me, if I'm not mature, if I as an adult am not mature, and my children see that, they're not going to be mature either. And not only that, the outcome almost always fails. That person ends up being more into the person you're trying to keep them away from or the person you're trying to punish. They start seeing you for who you really are. And they're like, I don't like, mommy is teaching me or daddy is teaching me to be this type of person. But when it comes to mommy or daddy, the one who is on the outside, or the other parent that's not living in the situation, well, they're not acting like they're teaching me to act. So then they start gravitating to the other parent anyway. So you might as well, unless it's a serious situation where that person is, physically hurting the child or something of that nature where you feel like your family's in danger, then that's understandable. But when it comes down to it, co parenting is something that can occur. A blended family even when it's a situation that's not the same background as Ree and Jada. It still can be something that comes out to be a positive, because if you're angry, you're going to be angry for the rest of your life, and basically you're hurting yourself. You're not hurting it. You're hurting the children too, but you're hurting yourself. That person that you're trying to punish, that person has moved on. They are not going to feel any better about you. They are not going to gravitate to you. They are not going to accept you. And, you know, into their lives the way that you want them to, if all you can do is punish them all the time. You're teaching them, hey, if I was with you, this is how I'm going to act. I'm going to punish you. I'm going to hold you here by punishment. And you really want somebody to be there because they want to be there, not because you have to punish them to be there. So I really enjoyed that segment because it showed a level of maturity that we, as including I, because I have children, and I was a part of a blended situation with a young lady, and my stepson and I got along great. So, so I understand what that is all about, but at the same time, I'm not saying it's easy, and I don't think Ree and Jada was saying it was easy either. It took a lot of work, and that's what it has to take. Parenting is work. And at the end of the day, if you know it is work, that means that you have to put the time in to either change your attitude and make it a positive experience, or keep the attitude if it is already positive and continue to improve upon that, so that the children can have a what is considered normal. And I don't think anything's normal. We all it is what it is. Y'all know how it is. We all my friends say we all some assorted nuts. I'll take the cashews. But anyway, if we can do that, we can all have a successful upbringing with these children, because in reality, our children are getting away from us. If you look at how things are going, the children are really getting away from us, and a lot of it is because of these situations and the anger, and the parenting is not as solid. But anyway, that was just my thought. Love the Red Table Talk. Love to watch such serious issues that need to be addressed. I think for some women this was actually therapy, and it should be, because it makes all of us, and nobody's throwing stones, but it makes all of us look at ourselves and grow. So, more power to all the sisters and brothers who are striving to raise the children. And peace out.